the loudspeaker spoke up and said,
Greetings from just off Orwell Lane. In 1963, something happened. Before Robert Crumb's Zap Comics, before Wally Wood's Wit's End, a 21-year-old man, recently honorably discharged from the military for mental health reasons, produced 100 copies of what may be the first underground comic book. Published, if one could call it that, from original drawings via a mimeograph machine in 1963 by the author's own hand, history was made. That book was Vaughn Bode's Das Kampf. The book, more appropriately called approximately 100 loose pages of single panels, was a send-up spoof of the, at the time, massively popular Happiness is a Warm Puppy by the creator of Charlie Brown and the Peanuts, Charles Schulz. Each page of Das Kampf consisted of a single caricature of a soldier in some form of entertaining situation or event. It's pure lighthearted fun, with a mischievous streak that would come to be the calling card for some of Bode's future work. Perhaps most significantly, the tenors for what would eventually lead to Vaughn to be called the progenitor of the modern graffiti art movement can be seen in several of the pages. This is witnessed by the unique curved styles that would become synonymous with both Bode's body of work as well as the urban graffiti movement. The approximate 100 pages of this seminal work became quite an underground legend, so much so that by 1977, a second run of only 3,000 copies was produced following Bode's growing fame. Das Kampf is something special in the darker corners of underground comics, and while not as glowingly remembered as Vaughn's other creations, like Cheech Wizard, those of us here on the farm think it deserves more recognition than it currently receives. Vaughn was ahead of his time in both his outlook and his art. Here are his own words.
As I said, originally I went down into the underground and I worked with Robert Crumb and people like that, and we started the Gothic Blimp, which was the first underground tabloid paper, comic tabloid, because at the time I really felt that that's really where it was happening as far as I was concerned. People like Stan Lee offered me series to do, comic series, and I've always had to turn them down because I really dig my own. I insist on having, first of all my own rights. I'm the only one who's ever been able to protect my rights was myself. Most artists, especially when I first met them, were selling all their rights in New York, all over the place, and to publishers who are very greedy monsters, and they take away everything if they could. But now things are changing in the last few years.
I am Aldous on the farm. Thank you for watching.